For many years, the Twilight franchise has intrigued me for one main reason, and that is the fact that ever since their release, many people have said that they are not good films. However, they also reached a level of success and popularity that you only really saw with like The Hunger Games or Harry Potter, and that disconnect has always intrigued me. The fact that these films are apparently as bad as they are, yet were as popular as they were. Also, for those of you wondering about the camera setup, because this is different to what I usually do, this isn't the new norm. This is specifically just like this for this video, because this video is different to what I usually do anyway, so that is why it looks the way it does now. So after sitting on this idea for a while, I decided to invite my friend Meg from the YouTube channel Megspace over to watch all of the Twilight films from start to finish. And I thought this would be quite interesting because she has already seen the Twilight films before and actually likes them. I'm still trying to figure out whether she likes them ironically or legitimately likes them. But I thought it would be interesting to see her reaction to my first reactions of these films coming out of them. So sit back, relax, while I watch all of the Twilight films with my friend Meg, and chaos ensues. There's recording on me. Always double check it. Right. For fuck's sake. So, for clarity, I've never seen them before.
I have.
She has.
All of them.
She loves them. I'm still trying to make sure. I'm still trying to figure out if it's ironically or unironically.
I don't even know at this point.
So yeah, we're going to watch all 5 of them. The fact that there's 5 is just...
And you're going to love them.
I don't know much about these films. I mean, obviously I know like the reputation they have, and I know a few bits that happen in them, but apart from that, I just know that Batman's in it, and Princess Diana's in it as well. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. We will keep you updated after each film with my reaction and her reaction to my reaction. It will make sense. But we're going to go film by film, starting with the first one, released in 2008, directed by Catherine Hardwicke. I think she was quite renowned as an indie director anyway, like before making this.
Sure.
No, she was.
Okay.
She was. So yeah, we will catch back up with you after the first one, and I might have lost some brain cells by then.
Only a couple.
Yeah. So we just watched the first one.
Yeah.
It's a bit shit. It's just.
Surprised you're expecting it to be good.
I'd heard the first one was okay, but that was really. There's a lot of continuity errors in it.
Oh yeah.
Like, you pointed out that there's a bit where Edward's just behind the door as Bella opens
To be
it.
fair, I think he's meant to be. It's just really creepy.
Like, for a fraction of a second, you just see him there.
The backpack as well.
Oh god.
So she puts her back when they go into the woods. She puts her backpack down, and it's like colour side down, and the next shot is colour side up, and a 360 shot.
I guess the film looks alright, but the colour grading is terrible. I like some of the characters are legitimately good. Like, I think the dad is legitimately trying, and I like that aspect.
Yeah, the dad's great.
The dad's good. The vampire family, they're all quite nice except for what's her name?
Jasper? Oh, Rosalie.
Yeah,
Rosalie.
Jasper's just a gormless. I don't know what's going on up here for Jasper, but
He gets better as they go on.
And the baseball scene is really cool.
Yeah.
Like, the concept of it is actually quite cool. It's dated as fuck, but the concept of it is cool. The fact that they have to play baseball during a storm.
It's the leg as well.
Oh yeah, and fucking the leg. Like, that scene's just shit, but it's good shit. There are certain lines in this film where the dialogue is just so bad.
Oh, it's the bit when she looks like she's coughing up a hairball.
What is it that Edward says something to her?
It's like, hello, I'm Edward. You must be Bella. And she goes,
She just fucking no initial build up, just. So yeah, next we have New Moon, which, fun fact, I did used to have on Blu-ray because when I first got a Blu-ray player, it came with like 8 films and one of them was New Moon. I never watched it because it was Twilight, but I did used to own it. Never watched it, but I used to own it. I know Michael Sheen is in this one, I think. So we've just watched the second one, New Moon.
yes.
Actually wasn't that bad. Still not amazing. It's definitely not like the best thing I've ever seen, but it's an improvement over the first one.
Yes, definitely.
Personally. It visually looks better. You can actually see what's going on half the time.
Yep.
The performances still aren't great, but they're getting better. Just everything about the film is an improvement over the first one.
Although the audio is really quiet.
Yeah, we had an issue of like, well, it's not an issue with us. The film has this problem where 1 minute it's really quiet and they're whispering everything, and then as soon as some action kicks in, it's like too loud.
But there's the Chevrolets and the Volvos.
Yes.
So so Jacob only drives Chevrolets, and that family, the Wolves, only drive Chevrolets, and the Cullens and the vampires only drive Volvos.
We don't know if.
Why?
Yeah, like does this?
No.
Did we find out later? No. Okay. So
It's
that's
just
the thing
there.
we've noticed. We don't know why it's there.
I mean, it could be because the Chevrolets last a very long time in their pickup trucks, and the Wolves are wolves, and the Cullens are obviously very high society, so they've got nice fancy cars. I don't know.
We're looking too much into this. One thing I will say is that, like, and I think you even pointed this out, the soundtrack in this one's more prominent.
It's more of a film score
Yeah.
than a track.
Because like in the first one, it just felt like a backing track that was just there. This one actually feels like, right, this is a score to back up specific moments, and it felt, you know, it was an actual score for a film. But not just that, but also the bits of, you know, typical music actually felt more appropriate this time. Okay.
After watching that one, are you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
I think I'm still Team Edward, because Jacob can kind of be a bit of an arsehole in this film, and vice versa. Bella doesn't help herself at times.
So now we've got Eclipse.
Yeah, we've got Eclipse next. If this trend keeps going and they do get better with each one, I'm actually looking kind of forward to the last two, but we've still got to get through Eclipse. So yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So
we've watched Twilight, New Moon, and Eclipse all in one day.
Yep.
We have only taken breaks to eat, and we've been drinking throughout.
We're gonna leave Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2 for another day, but you'll see it in a minute. Don't worry. But yeah, we've done the first 3 in one day, and I've got a headache. Thank you, Twilight, for giving me a headache. First one I thought was genuinely shit. Second one was an improvement. This one's probably on the same level as the second one, but I didn't find it as interesting. I found this one a bit boring compared to the second one.
Okay, interesting. This one is the bridge between New Moon and Breaking Dawn. Like, you can't just go from New Moon to Breaking Dawn. You need this episode.
Yeah.
This film. We've been watching them like TV shows, so I'm quite tired.
I've also noticed that, like, and it's starting to get on my nerves a bit, is that the first 3 films, and I don't know if the next 2 have the same structure, but they seem to have the same structure of, like, nothing really happens, and then the last, like, half an hour happens, and it just, you know, everything's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like Stephanie Meyer, you can have stuff happening before the finale. You don't have to just make the whole thing boring and then just put it in the finale. But I've noticed that with the first one, nothing really happened until the end. The second one, kind of the same, but you had a few bits here and there to kind of keep you interested. The third one is probably the most extreme example of it. Like, literally fuck all happens until the end. There were a couple of things in this third one that I did legitimately like, and this is probably the first time in the series that I'm saying, like, there are things I'm legitimately liking.
Oh, good.
For example, you do find out the origins of a couple of the vampire clan, I guess you call them.
The Cullens.
Yeah, the Cullens. You find out some of their origins, and they are legitimately quite interesting. And weirdly enough, my favourite scene in the whole film is this dialogue exchange between Edward and Jacob in a tent that just felt like a genuine chat. Like, it's the first time they're not at each other's throats throughout the whole of these films. It's the first time they're just having a normal conversation.
Yeah. So Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Edward. Jacob's just he's just pining for something that ain't there. Like,
that will make sense in the last two films.
Right. I hope so.
We're gonna stop now.
Yeah, but we're gonna watch Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2 on a different
another day.
But in context of continuity of this video, you're about to see our reaction to them.
So let's watch Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Yay. I know a bed gets broken at some point, and I'm not looking forward to it. Right, so we are back. As you can probably tell, we're filming this on a separate day because there's no way we're getting through all 5 of these in one sitting.
It's been 2 months.
What are you on about? No, it was like 5 seconds ago.
It was a whole film ago.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Probably my least favourite of the films so far. At least with the other ones, you could tell the people making them, even though they weren't particularly great, you could tell the people making them knew what they were making, whereas this one feels half-assed in every way. Like, a lot of it, like, the acting from Patterson, Stewart, all that is fine. The production and everything else just feels very awkward. Like, there's a lot of edits that just feel very awkward. And I didn't feel that with the other ones. Like, even something that was bad, you felt in keeping. The zoom. There's a bit where Bella is on like an operating table and it just zooms in on her face. Like, it's not even subtle. It's like boom.
Shaky cam. It's like handheld and looks like it's done like
a documentary.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. No, there's something about this one that just didn't sit right with me. Although I'm presuming that this will fit the trend of like Mockingjay Part 1 and 2, Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, where the first part is kind of nothing happens, and the second part is where all the shit hits the fan.
So, this camera quality wise felt so much better.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
But overall, the second one's better. Good.
I'll take your word for that.
I mean, it is the first one sort of setting up a lot of the second one.
Yeah.
But it's just the names.
No.
I've been playing around with our mother's names, Renee and Esme, and I've come up with Renesmee.
Also, Jacob imprinted on a baby, and it sounds really fucking wrong. Like, Meg has explained to me what imprinting in the Twilight universe is, but when you say
they did explain it in an earlier film.
Yeah, when you just hear it though, as cut and dry as that, Jacob imprinted on a fucking baby.
Imprinted on her.
It sounds fucking disgusting.
But yeah, that was a fun experience for Aaron.
Also, the wolves talk now. When the wolf clan were humans, they talk, but when they were previously wolves, they didn't. Like, this is the first time they're talking as wolves, and I don't know whether it's telepathically or out loud, but it's just
It's not done very well either because you can't really hear them over the growling.
Oh, the soundtrack lyrics.
Oh,
Big pill.
So we're watching it with subtitles on, and the song that's at the end of the first film at the prom, and then in this film at the wedding, I don't know what it's called, but it's like, the lyrics are, "I'm a fat cat."
Something about a big pill.
Something about a big pill. A blunt tongue.
Basically, we found that though the sound of the songs fit the soundtrack, when you look at the lyrics, I don't know what the.
How much do you know about Part 2?
I know Rami Malek's in it for some reason.
Is that it?
That and I know there's a big battle on the ice.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's all I know about Breaking Dawn Part 2. That's all I know. Right, so we have just watched the last one, Breaking Dawn Part 2. It's not good.
Oh, okay. What do you not like about it?
Breaking Dawn Part 1 did exactly what I thought it was. It was just a lot of setup and did the same thing Mockingjay and Deathly Hallows Part 1 did, where it is just set up and there's not really much else to it.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it's like a lot happens at once, but then also like...
Also nothing happens.
Nothing happens, because... Right, so one of my main issues, there's quite a few, one of my main issues is like, there's this whole big battle at the end. They have like, a lot of people die, and I'm just like, okay, CGI and shot-wise, it's not amazing, but I'm just like, okay, this is a decent way to wrap things up, and then they kind of, I best describe it, blue balls in the audience.
It's like everything's a dream.
Yeah, because like a lot of crucial characters die, and I'm like, okay, I like where this is going, because they're actually like killing people off, and it's, you know, there's a sense of finality to it.
Mm.
And then, oh no, wait, no, it actually didn't happen, and then they just sort of just part ways, the two sides.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't do that. I mean, at least with Mockingjay and Deathly Hallows, they had the balls to kill off not loads of characters, but a couple of like key ones. This almost kind of feels a bit like, yeah, we're not going to risk it. The events of this, the Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2, feel like they could have happened in any of the previous three.
Okay.
Because again, the structure for the previous three films was just thing happens, set up, thing at the end, and that's how they've all been.
Yeah. And
I feel like you could have shoved the events of Breaking Dawn into, you know, you could have swapped any of the stories around, and it probably wouldn't. Obviously, Bella giving birth to that weird CGI thing. That aside, I mean the general core stories of like, you know what I mean. I also find it funny how Carlisle brings in all of these friends to help their cause, and it's like every stereotype under the sun. You've got the
gingers from Ireland.
Yeah, so before the Irish people appeared, before the Irish vampires showed up, I was like, I bet they're ginger. Cuts to them, they're all bright fucking orange hair.
Apart from one of them.
But either way, I'm just like, called it. Fucking the two Russian lads look like they're from Eurovision. Like, I feel like they're gonna drop the sickest
really
techno EP of the year. Then you've got Rami Malek and his family. Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
You got them.
Who are from Egypt.
Also, this is the first and only Twilight film to have an opening and closing, like, full done credits sequence.
But the closing had it for everyone who's ever been in the film.
That also felt weird, because I'm like, okay, you're going to do it for the people in this film. Okay, we haven't seen them since the first film, and it was literally doing everyone that's ever been in the fucking franchise. Much. There's a lot, I think I said this about, I think the second one or the third one, but there's a lot of good ideas.
But they're
like
not executed.
Sprinkled out throughout, like the whole thing with Jasper in, I think, the third film.
Yeah.
Where you find out
scores.
Battle scars. There are ideas scattered throughout that are intriguing. Like the fact that for some reason all the vampires have like unique abilities. That's just weirdly interesting.
It's not all of them though.
No, but like a lot of the key ones.
How did Bella get one?
Yeah, that's the.
Unless they have to be bitten by a vampire who's got the special ability, because as in the Cullen family, it's only Bella, Edward, and Alice.
Yeah.
Everyone else doesn't.
The fucking McDonald's cup full of blood.
The
Do you want
polystyrene
to try
cup.
and? I mean, we can't really explain it because it's just like out of all the ways they could have served up blood to Bella, they decide they do it.
Carlisle put it in a glass, and then Edward was like, "No, we'll put it in a cup with a lid and a straw, and give it to Bella." What would you give the film series out of 10?
Each, or
No,
as a series.
overall.
I mean, 3 or 4.
Oh my gosh. 7.
So you give it a
7.
You'd give it a 7.
Yeah.
Just to take into account, Meg's not seen many films just in general. So take
Don't call me out like that.
just take her rating with a pinch of salt. If you have seen the Twilight films, which I presume many of you have, let me know in the comments what you think. Tell me I'm wrong, probably. If you like the video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Also, subscribe to Meg's channel, Meg Space, get in it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the thing. She makes pretty great videos.
Sometimes.
Not all the time.
No.
Inconsistent, but
Get in there.
yeah. So yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Bye.
Get in it.